James Geary, IIsanOther, The Secret Life of Metaphor and How It Shapes the Way We See the World. The power of metaphor extends far beyond the realm of literature. In IIsanOther, The Secret Life of Metaphor and How It Shapes the Way We See the World, James Geary demonstrates how metaphors are crucial for understanding the world around us, as they occur in our writing, speech, and even gestures. This summary delves into the importance of metaphor in various fields, including technology, economics, politics, science, and psychology. Get ready to explore how metaphors can simplify complex ideas, influence our actions, and foster innovative solutions, all while remaining an essential tool for communicating meanings in our everyday experiences.
The power of metaphors. Metaphors are more than just poetic devices. They are essential tools that help us communicate complex concepts and experiences in relatable ways. A single metaphor can convey more meaning than a literal description. Metaphors occur in our daily lives and are crucial to understanding the world around us. From Shakespearean sonnets to scientific writing, metaphors make it possible to describe something unknown or unfamiliar in terms of something familiar. They allow us to see the world differently and understand difficult concepts more easily. Metaphors are a vital part of human communication and play an integral role in shaping our experiences and interpretations of the world. Metaphors in body language. Metaphors are present not only in verbal language but also in nonverbal cues, such as body language. Our physical gestures and posture communicate underlying emotions and influence others' interpretations of our speech. Metaphor can also connect our body and mind, as evidenced by priming studies where people modify their behavior based on verbal or visual stimuli. These nonverbal cues also contribute to concepts like proximity, which can indicate both emotional and physical intimacy. In essence, metaphor links our mind and body, shaping our communication with the world around us. The power of metaphor. Metaphors shape our actions, worldview, and explanation of new discoveries, as showcased by the use of metaphors in psychotherapy and science. The language we use shapes our thoughts and behavior, often through the use of metaphors. A client with an unhealthy professional outlook saw work as war, making him compete with others and refuse feedback. By changing his metaphor to work as playing in an orchestra, he was able to cooperate with others and improve his work performance. Similarly, metaphors play a significant role in explaining new scientific discoveries. For example, the atom was initially described as a plum pudding, with negatively charged electrons as raisins in a positively charged pudding until it was discovered that electrons move around the nucleus, just as planets orbit a star. This new understanding required a metaphorical shift, and the atom was more accurately described as a solar system, with the nucleus representing the star. Metaphors offer a powerful means of shaping our view of the world and our place in it, and they are key in expanding our knowledge and understanding of the universe. The power of metaphors in the financial world. Metaphors wield a great deal of power in the financial world. It is through these literary devices that economists create a narrative, encouraging investors to engage in the market. There are two kinds of metaphors, namely agent and object metaphors, that are used to depict the market. Agent metaphors are prevalent during an upward trend as it implies that the market is improving on its own accord, while object metaphors are common during the downward trend, as it suggests that the market has no control over external circumstances. These metaphors help sway investors into investing. However, this is not all. Once the investors are exposed to these metaphors, they fall victim to a phenomenon called expectancy bias. This bias makes them believe that they have recognized a trend and that trend will continue even if it doesn't. In essence, investors are convinced of fictitious patterns, impacting their investment behavior. While metaphors in literature reveal complex emotions, metaphors in economics tend to create confusion. The power of political metaphors. In politics, metaphors are widely employed by politicians to influence public opinion and sway people's voting decisions. These metaphors hold great suggestive power, triggering unconscious responses in the listeners and readers. Psychologist Thomas Gilovich conducted a study on the impact of historical and political allusions used in metaphors to influence people's decision-making. The study found that people were more likely to intervene in a situation when it was related to a situation like World War II, whereas those related to Vietnam War were less likely to get involved. The use of metaphors in political language also includes comparing the nation to a body, which allows politicians to discuss issues like immigration in terms of contamination by foreign agents. Such metaphors hold a critical impact on people's thoughts related to the subject. Therefore, it is essential to recognize and reflect upon these metaphors instead of blindly getting captivated by the rhetoric of politicians. The power of metaphors. Metaphors are tools that not only simplify complex scientific ideas but also make it easier to address traumatic subjects. In science, hypotheses are often described using metaphors until proven. For instance, the continental drift theory was explained using the metaphor that the Earth is brittle on top but fluid underneath. In psychology, metaphors help discuss emotionally challenging topics like post-traumatic stress disorder. Psychotherapist David Grove developed the clean language technique, which involves responding to patients' metaphorical descriptions of their trauma with metaphors of his own. By doing so, he entered their realm and aimed to understand their condition from their perspective, thereby improving their underlying metaphors and, ultimately, their conditions. Metaphors have a vast potential, not solely in finance and politics where they are often controversial, but also as a means for good. Innovative solutions through metaphors. Metaphors are great problem-solving tools for both business and technological difficulties. They help to provide new insights and perspectives that lead to innovative solutions by looking at a problem from a different angle. One company asked SnapTale, a global innovation consultancy, to find out why people were not opting for their insurance. They found out that people had negative metaphors for insurance companies like leeches that sucked their money. SnapTale suggests some new positive metaphors and changed the company's approach towards the problem. Metaphors can also help in innovation, as seen in biomimicry where solutions are found through nature. In the case of the shipping industry, scientists learned from sharks' skin structure, and a new material was developed that prevented barnacles and marine life from attaching to ship hulls, saving money and increasing shipping speed. Metaphorical manipulation. Advertisers use personification, identification, and familiar associations to manipulate customers. Advertisements are all around us, from banjos to breakfast cereals. To make customers identify with their products, advertisers employ clever tactics such as metaphors, particularly personification, which gives human qualities to inanimate objects. By animating a product with a nose, mouth, and eyes and having it talk directly to customers, the product takes on a personality. Similarly, advertisers make the person in the ad appear stunningly attractive, so that the customer can identify with them, hoping to purchase the product to match the aspirational qualities of the glamorous person displayed. This way, metaphors are used to convince the customer that they can be just as successful if they buy the advertised product. Advertisements also use familiar associations to associate their products with meanings that have nothing to do with the actual product. For example, breakfast cereals are not just breakfast but are instead depicted as a manifestation of domestic bliss, a happy family sitting around the perfectly set breakfast table. Ads like this make customers associate their product with the blissful scene and the familial happiness it entails. Nevertheless, every sane being knows that cereal does not have that kind of effect on anyone. Advertisers cleverly use these metaphors to manipulate customers into making purchases that they may not necessarily need but might feel they want. The crucial role of metaphors in child development. Children use metaphors to connect information and fashion their ideas about the world and its objects. The process begins at 12 to 14 months as they play games, treating objects as if they were others. This capacity for metaphors develops with age and experience. Children learn to create and understand more complicated metaphors as they make sense of the world around them.
As you have discovered while exploring the summary of James Geary's book, metaphors play a major role in shaping our experiences and understanding of the world. Metaphors serve as a bridge between the unfamiliar and the familiar, helping us comprehend new concepts and situations. They also influence our actions, affect communication, and foster creative problem-solving in business and technology. Although metaphors can be potentially manipulative in politics and finance, they also serve to simplify intricate scientific ideas and assist in discussing traumatic experiences. Ultimately, metaphors are powerful tools present not only in language but also in our gestures and thoughts, making them an essential part of how we interact with the world around us.